This week, we welcome you again to our journey of responding to the question that members of Grace United Methodist Church have about faith and about the church. And this week, I'm responding to a very provocative statement and question. And let me read it to you. Quote, "It seems most people on earth have identified a God and usually have a way to God. Jesus, Mohammed, nature. Would God ever send a messenger to unite all religions, all people? Would this be more likely if there was only a remnant of people left after nuclear war or extreme climate change?" End of quote. Now, I'm beginning my response by removing myself from the tradition of the understanding of Jesus in the Western world, which has been influenced and in fact determined by the organized church. To the extent that I can step into the tradition of Jesus in the Eastern world, my response to the question of the week is that Jesus is that very messenger intended to unite all religions and all people. You see, the history of Jesus in the Eastern world is not in competition with the various customs of existing religions, but Jesus is the very essence of every spiritual quest of humankind. That's the perspective from the Eastern world. Now, one of my first exposures to this understanding of Jesus is the story of the response of Gandhi when asked why he was not a Christian. Gandhi followed the teachings of Jesus, quoted them, believed that Jesus revealed the true nature of God, agape love. But his answer to the question, "Why aren't you a Christian?" was simply, "Because of Christians." His experience was that many Christians were committed to Christianity as a religion, which is the human quest for the divine, rather than being committed to the way of agape, sacrificial and empathetic love. You see, Gandhi was an adherent to another religion, but a radical follower of Jesus. Now, another exposure was personal, and that was when the congregation of which I was one of the pastors became the sponsor of the Vietnamese family, the Q family, and they were adherents to Buddhism. They attended the United Methodist Church faithfully, and I assumed incorrectly that they attended in appreciation for our sponsorship. After becoming friends, I asked Mr. Q about this, and I asked Mr. Q about Buddha and Jesus. And he smiled and said, quote, "Buddha good, Jesus good," end of quote. And then he put his two hands together and said, "One, one," end of quote. Buddha and Jesus for Mr. Q, one, one. You see, in the Eastern world, Jesus is not a replacement for other religions. Jesus is the essence of every spiritual quest for the divine, simply the way of agape love. So from the perspective of the East, my response to the question of this week is, the messenger has already come. The messenger has come to unite all religions, all people in the way of sacrificial and empathetic love. Now, this response is based on my understanding that there's a difference between religion and faith. Religion is the human quest, spiritual quest for the divine. Religion can be good. An organized religion like the Christian church can be the human vehicle that proclaims the way of agape love and becomes the human community serving in the name and the way of love. However, organized religion can also become dominated by the human quest for power and control. And when this occurs, religion, including Christianity, can be a stumbling block and become adversarial to love. For you see, religion is the human construction around faith, and it can either be good or bad. But faith, on the other hand, is not the human quest for the divine. It is the belief that the divine has come to humanity in the form of agape love. Hebrews 11:1, and the whole chapter deals with the issue of faith. And one translation reads, faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. You see, the evidence is here. We experience agape love. That's what faith is all about. A hymn that we do not often sing, but is in our hymnal, hymn number 508, is about faith. First verse, faith while trees are still in blossom plans the picking of the fruit. Faith can feel the thrill of harvest when the buds begin to sprout. Second verse, long before the dawn is breaking, faith anticipates the sun. Faith is eager for the daylight, for the work that must be done. Eager for the daylight, for the work of agape love that must be done. You see, the determining factor of whether a religion is complementary and an agent of the divine is whether what is preached, what is taught, and what is practiced is about agape love. Agape love is the test of whether a religion, any religion, including Christianity, is a community of faith or a community of human power and control. You see, Gandhi rejected Christianity gone bad. Mr. Q accepted Christianity of Jesus' agape love. So, to summarize my response to the question, from the perspective of the East, the messenger has come. His name was Jesus. Jesus is the way of agape love, which is the essence of every spiritual quest of humankind. I hope humankind will not become so consumed by power and control that only a remnant remains for all persons to become one in agape love. Thank you for the question. You've received my feeble response. There's a lot to think about in what I've shared. Let me give you some starters. First of all, what's your response to the distinction between faith and religion? Secondly, what are illustrations of a religion becoming so consumed by power and control that it becomes antagonistic to agape love revealed in Jesus? And finally, what are illustrations of a religion being a vehicle for and an agent of agape love? Enjoy your thought, and we will enjoy our conversation together on Sunday. Thank you.